Hello, welcome back all. This is Naresh again, and in this another video, I'm coming up with another amazing RAG implementation using the open source models, open source components, and the open source libraries. So in the previous video, we have seen the how we can store the we can index our text data, documents data into using the Llama index, and how we can store that data into the Chroma DB using the Hugging Face and the Llama index APIs, Python APIs. So in this video, we will take one step further where we will implement the end-to-end implementation of the RAG with our vector store as a Chroma DB and the Langchain and using the Ollama and the OpenAI. So the architecture we are going to implement is this is the architecture. So if you remember, this is the left side of this architecture we have implemented in our previous video. We stored we index the data and we stored in the Chroma DB, and we are going to implement this right side of the code base where we can connect to the different open source and the vendor models, paid models, and get the response by providing the context in the form of the data we are retrieving from the Chroma DB. So in the Chroma DB, we are storing all our private data that will augment the context that is passed to these open source models, so that open source models will give the boot accurate information while answering their queries. A quick introduction of the Ollama. Ollama is an open source component which will allow us to run these models, all the large language models in our local environment. We can run all the open source models, not the paid models. And it will have a there are certain models supported by the Ollama. If you go to the Google like for the Ollama, you will find all those models it will supporting. So, and the Langchain, we are going to use the Langchain. Langchain is a framework which allows us to build this LLM-based applications. So it will have all those APIs to glue together all these components, Chroma DB, embeddings, or LLM models, and building a beautiful applications. And we can chain all these steps together in one app. And we are going to do the two example. One we are going to see using the Ollama, and we'll see the using the OpenAI with the Langchain, and we are while augmenting our context with the data from the Chroma DB. So without further ado, let's get into the action so that we can see what is happening. So this is the Python notebook I'm using for this demo, and this notebook I will share in the GitHub link available in the description of this video. So if you see here, it is I'm doing a standard imports where I'm using the Ollama to run a model that is running in my local and interact with that one, and I'm also importing the OpenAI to interact with the OpenAI. Okay, so here I have the we need an OpenAI key to connect to the OpenAI, send our prompt. So that's why we have it, and we have the model what the OpenAI GPT-3 Petfat Turbo models. And then I'm putting the certain long chain properties so that I can this will help me to debug the Langchain application. Langchain application and see the what is happening behind the scenes. And I try to make it this code as a more generic as much as possible. So that's why we if it is model is coming with the GPT, model name contains the GPT, then we will do the chart open model open AI chart open AI object, and then we will use that model to interact. Okay, for this use case, let's go with the model ChatGPT one, and then we will in the next example we will see with the Ollama with model running in my local. So here we created a model object, that's it. And in the next stage, we need to get the data from the vector DB that we have stored in our previous example, right? We stored our data in the Chroma DB. So this data, private data, can be used to augment the context. So that's why we are creating that object for the vector store that we have created, and then we are getting the collection from, and out of that vector database we are getting the retriever. This retriever help us to invoke, interact with that indexed data from the Chroma DB. So if we wanted to ask a questions, we can do the retriever dot invoke to invoke and get the results. So let me go on. Let's see if we can see, we can run this one and get the result. So here I'm creating a retriever and I'm asking a question. Who is Naresh Dulam? So I'm asking a question and see whether it's going to return the result. Yeah. So when I run this one, it's going to give me the certain results, because I mentioned uh, the most relevant is like the five records I wanted to be written. So that's why we have the five documents written here. So this configuration we can, this object retriever we will use in the Langchain while building the RAG. Okay, so and then I have imported certain modules from Python modules from the Langchain to build this entire chain, end-to-end chain. So what I'm going to do is here, when the user is going to ask a question, what we are going to do is we'll go and get the relevant data from the Chroma DB, and then we will send that information to this our Ollama models or OpenAI models, and then we will get the results. So that's what we are going to do here. So that's why we created a template saying that answer the question if you know that. If you don't know the answer, then just tell me that I don't know. And here is the context where we will pass the information that we got it from the vector database, that is the Chroma database, and input is where our actual question get asked. So I creating the prompt template, and then I creating the chain. So we basically created a chain using the retriever that is getting the data from the vector DB, and then we are putting that information into the model prompt. The model prompt means here this is where we are going to update that information we are getting from the Chroma DB into this context, and then we can ask a certain question. So I am asking a certain questions. We can write those questions we wanted to ask to the model, and then we can invoke that chain using this invoke method. So what it will do is, it is basically whenever we run that, whenever the user submit a question, first it will be converted into vector embeddings, and it will be sent to the Chroma DB, and all the relevant records will be pulled, and those records will be passed to the chat OpenAI. So let's run this one and see what it's going to do. So I'm asking a question: what are the certifications Naresh have? So I am, if we go to the end, here we are printing that what are the certification Naresh have. Naresh have the certification of like certain things. So this information you can find it here. So if we go to the I have the PDF. This is the PDF. Where is this? Yeah, this is the PDF. I have it. So here somewhere else I mentioned that I have certain certifications. Where is that? Database. I'm skilled in big data technologies. Oh, yeah, here is the things I have it here. So that's why it's written in those things. So maybe we'll ask some. This is a straightforward. It looks he had a certification. Maybe let's try to ask some question that is need to be derived. So maybe we can ask. Yeah, because I have details of my kids in that document. So let's try to, but I did not mention any number, how many number of kids. Did I mention my kids' names? Yeah, I have the two kids. Mm. Okay, maybe I can write some question like how many members in a family, so that it needs to be deduced from derived from this information. So let me ask a question. What is how many members in Naresh family? So let's see who is going to return a answer or not. Okay, so yeah, oh, it's returning the result. So it's saying that Naresh family has four members: himself, his wife, and their two children. Yeah, so it's this LLM basically don't have the information of my personal details. So, but I'm putting that personal details in this form of the PDF of, and then I converted into the vector embeddings, and then we stored it. That vector embeddings are used while answering the queries. So this is a very quick introduction and how to use the OpenAI. So we can modify the same code base to run using the Ollama model also. So let me do this one quickly. So I'll go here. So I'll comment out this one. So I have created a model called the custom tiny llama. This is the model I'm running in my local with the Ollama. So when I set this model name to this one, this piece of code is going to be executed and it's going to use the Ollama to return the results. So this model will be used in the Langchain to answer the questions. So let me run this one first. Okay, it's done. So let me try to run this one and see whether it's going to return the result. So the response from my local model maybe it is slow because my machine is very, my resources are very small, so I cannot get the response very quickly. Maybe it will take a minute or two to get the response. Yeah, so it finished completion running, but my model is not efficient. The local model it is running, so even though we have provided the enough information, it's not able to give the results. It's hallucinating, it seems. But the previous example of the OpenAI is predicting the results. So that's it for this video on implementing the end-to-end RAG using the open source components. I'm going to share this Python notebook in your in the GitHub so that you can quickly try it out with all the dependencies. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you'll enjoy this video so far. Thank you. Bye.